the Celtics and OKC. MVP odds heating up. Shai Alexander, he's the favorite. Jaylen Brown also in the mix. Late first quarter, Thunder up 23-16. That's SGA. Make it a 9-point lead. Jason Tatum creating space, coming back after a relatively rough night. Step back three, he had 19 points. Celtics down 8. Then 2 minutes left in the first half. Boston down 2. Not for long. Brown crossing SGA. Tough basket. Celtics, though, did trail at the half. It was 53-49. We go to the third. OKC up 4. SGA. Why is he so wide open? He had 33, by the way. Thunder up 7. A few minutes later, Celtics still down 7. Here's Kata throwing it down. Tatum hit him. Celtics down 5. Brown now able to punch that in. 14 of his 31 came in the third, which led to the Celtics up 88-83 going into the fourth. Now sizing up SGA. It feels a little bit like maybe SGA was getting a taste of his own medicine there. Celtics up 11 after the May Brown free throw. SGA now hitting Isaiah Joe for that 3. Did you think that Thunder were going to go away? No, they didn't. Down 6, but too much Brown. 31 points, plus 8 rebounds and 8 assists. The Celtics get the win in this one, 119-109.
This is a big-time win for us. You know, obviously OKC is the hottest team in the league, but we wanted to come out and show that we can play against anybody. And all year we haven't skipped no steps, and tonight was an example of that.
Is that the best overall you've played this season?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I don't want to speak in absolutes because I'm sure there's been a bunch of other ones, but I do think tonight we took it to a different level, and it's something that we have to maintain.
Wemby and the Spurs taking on the Grizzlies. Wemby continuing to make his case for MVP early in the first quarter. Spurs by 1. Spurs, how many passes? You might lose track. There's a total of 8 here before they finally get it to Dylan Harper for the 3. Spurs out 4. They just continue to build from there. This time with Wemby taking advantage of a mismatch. Then again, it feels like Fonte ball dunk plus the foul. Spurs now up 16. The free throw was missed. On Castle attacking. This is all Spurs, so don't even really worry about the score. But it was 38-19 going into the second. We are giving posters to everyone on the Spurs roster. Second quarter, Grizzlies down 17. Walter Clayton Jr. He thinks he's got something. No, Wemby. That block there. He had 5 in the first half. He finished with 7. Spurs at 57-44 going into the break. There was this moment, though. Jackson, Gigi on Wemby. I feel like we might see that in top plays, only because it happened on Wemby. Then Wemby just kind of went back at him. They look like they're in disbelief. Should we still be in disbelief at this point? He was all smiles, and why wouldn't he be? Final seconds of the third, the lead is comfortable. He's going to rattle in a 3 at 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 blocks. And the Spurs win again as well, 123.
3 arguments. My first one would be that defense is 50% of the game.
Have you ever seen a player impact possessions like Wembanyama does? Never.
Second argument would be we almost swept OKC in the season, and we dominated them.
They've got everybody's attention, like San Antonio is.
My third argument would be that offense impact is not just points.
It's incredible. He's unbelievable.
I think right now there is a debate. I'm trying to make sure that until the end of the season, there's no debate anymore.
He makes a good argument, and Wemby just goes out night after night and continues to do MVP things like this. Spurs up 14, don't worry about that, but watch the play. Throwing it down over Gigi Jackson. Yeah, he gets the poster, but it's more than that, because since February 1st, the last 25 games, the Spurs have won 23 of 25, and in this one, it's a win 123-98. He had 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 blocks. He thinks he should be the NBA. He is MVP. He is pleading his case, but the odds not necessarily in his favor. They stand at 13-1 to take on the MVP, and it's SGA, the heavy favorite. Michael Malone is back, and really, I just need to pick your brain about this MVP conversation, because Wemby thinks he's the MVP. Luke has just been on an absolute tear lately, and SGA is just out there, well, he's just being SGA and setting records. Who do you think is the MVP?
Well, as you mentioned, so many viable candidates, but my vote right now, with 10 games to go, would be Shai, because of his excellence, his consistency. He has yet to score under 20 points the entire season, and he has a chance to average 30 points per game on 55% shooting, which no guard in NBA history has ever accomplished. And let's not forget, they are still the #1 seed in the West. They have the best record in the NBA. But there are some guys right behind him who are poised to potentially move up, depending on how these last 10 games go.
Okay, because you did say if I would replace the vote right now. So for you to change your mind, what would have to happen?
Oh, I'll tell you what. If the Spurs catch the Thunder, which is realistic, they're 2 games behind, but really, Nicole, it's only a game and a half, because we know that the Spurs have the head-to-head tiebreaker, having beaten the defending champions 4 times this year. And I know Wemby's come out publicly and talked about how he wants to be the MVP and he feels he deserves to be the MVP. And what he's doing and what the Spurs are doing and what Mitch Johnson is doing in San Antonio is remarkable for a team filled with guys that have never been to the playoffs.
I think it's pretty safe to say that even if Wemby isn't the MVP this season, like, he's going to be the MVP at some point. Let's now switch to what I can only assume is everyone's favorite topic, that is obviously tanking. And the NBA Commissioner, Adam Silver, has said, and he came out and said it again, that fixing this is his top priority.
Well, we were going to fix it, full stop. And I want to say that directly to our fans. Incentives need to be fixed, and we will fix them.
Okay, so saying we're going to fix this full stop, that's a really easy sentence to say, but, like, what do you do? What would you do to actually fix it?
Well, you've heard so many different theories, and people are offering different ideas to fix this issue of tanking. And you have to give credit to Adam Silver, because he has made it a priority #1. He said full stop today, realizes that tanking is a bad look for the league. And for me, Nicole, I take one step back and I say, well, why is everybody tanking? And why hasn't it gotten so bad this year? Teams have tanked in the past, but never to this level. Well, it speaks to the incoming rookie class. This is going to be a hell of a draft come June. And a lot of NBA teams believe they can change their future by getting a potential player in this draft. But how they're doing it, it's a bad image. You are rewarding losing. Fans are coming to see teams play, and they're not being allowed to see the best players. Even go back to the trade deadline this year. A lot of moves that were made at this trade deadline were not for this season. Players that were moved were shut down right away. So that's not a good look for anybody, and Adam Silver's got to fix it.
No, and I have to say, as a fan, it's the absolute worst. You get a ticket, you buy a ticket to a game to go see the player you want to see, and they're not playing for rest reasons. Like, that sucks. Mr. Malone, thank you very much. Good to see you. 16. Here's one to watch. It's the late game. 2-seeded Houston taking on the 3-seed in Illinois. The Cougars are 2.5-point favorites in a game that is essentially, it's a home game for Houston, because the South Region Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games are at the Toyota Center in Houston. That's like a 10, maybe 15-minute drive from campus, depending on traffic. And joining us now is Houston's head coach, Kelvin Sampson. Like, I've heard you talk about this in a couple of ways, because let's be honest, you have the easiest travel schedule this week. You have the benefits of being at home. So what is #1 on that list of benefits?
No flights yesterday. That was the #1 thing, Nicole. But I know this. Last year, we got on a plane and flew to Indianapolis and won 2 games. So being at home may have some benefits, but it doesn't guarantee success.
Look, TSA can be a bit of a nightmare right now if we're talking about the airport. So if you can keep your fans out of the airports, at least for the next couple of weeks, I don't think anyone's going to complain about that on their end. When we look at the team, and really when you look at this season as a whole, there are always incredible freshmen, but this year you've got Darren Peterson, you've got AJ Devonta, you've got Cam Boozer, Darius Acuff, and the run that he's been on lately. But you also have Kingston Flemings in the season that he's had. From your perspective as the man who coaches him, what makes him so great?
I think his intelligence, his basketball IQ, coupled with his athleticism and his competitive drive, seems him really smart. And he's only going to get better. I think of what he's going to look like 4 years from now. I mean, he's a 19-year-old, 185-pound freshman that doesn't know whether he's on foot or horseback half the time right now. But he's so wired to compete. He's such a great teammate. He knows when to defer and knows when to push the gas down. And he's just been a joy to be around. When the last game ends, whether you win the championship or not, a lot of times you see the coach's tears, Nicole. A lot of times it's not necessarily because you lost or the season's over. It's deeper than that. You don't get to coach this particular team with these particular kids. You don't get to coach them anymore. And my life has revolved around them since June 1st, when they got on campus for summer school, and that's going on 10 months ago. So I'm already starting to think about it, but we're going to ride this train and keep dancing until the music plays, and hopefully it'll keep playing for a little while longer.
For them, obviously, Wagler is the focal point. How do you even try to contain him?
He has such great positional size. We try to make teams uncomfortable. Some teams we do a better job of it than other teams. He'll especially be a challenge because of his size. Our traps obviously work better against smaller guards, but he also has an extremely high IQ, and he has a demeanor and a speed about him that's just hard to change. You're not going to speed him up. He's going to go at the pace he wants to go at. He passes when he should pass, and he shoots when he should shoot. And this Illinois team is as good as advertised, so this will be the ultimate challenge for us.
Some pretty high praise there. I sort of have you captured in this little TV box right now, and I have to tell you, like, one of my favorite moments, not even just from the tournament last year, but from, I think, the year as a whole. In fact, we used this in our end of year, like year-end review. I refer to it as the Zaga saga, and in case you at home have forgotten, here's what I'm talking about.
Didn't you try to get a game with Gonzaga in 2021?
Gonzaga. It always burns me up when people say that. It's like calling me Kevin. My name is not Kevin. My mother used to say, people would see my name and say, "Hey, Kevin," and she would say, "Don't let people call you Kevin. Your name is Kelvin. Make sure they pronounce your name right." So that's why my antennas go up with that. Same with Gonzaga. They were our neighbors. It's not Spokane, and it's not Gonzaga. It's Gonzaga and it's Spokane. Go ahead.
I get it. I'm not Nikki. I never will be Nikki either. So we gave you a bit of a platform at the beginning to talk about the things that you get to, the benefits of being home this week. I want to flip it. What is annoying you right now? Let's give the platform. Here you go. What are the top 3 things annoying you right now?
It's hard to get out of the hotel. Not that I would want to, but this time of year, Nicole, it wouldn't matter whether we were in Savannah, Georgia, or Nome, Alaska, or Houston, Texas. We've got a chance to advance to the Elite Eight tomorrow night. The fact it's at the Toyota Center is probably going to motivate Illinois even harder. And he said, well, that crowd can have an advantage. I hope they do.
Well, good luck to you. I'm going to say you probably haven't seen my bracket, but it ends with a Houston in the middle at the end. So, Coach, I'm counting on you, and I know everyone in Houston is as well. Congratulations on the run so far. We look forward to watching you the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for having me on.